Hello Aquarius, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aquarius for the week of May 30th. Now Aquarius, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now, I do not offer personal readings. I will not send you a message on any platform, so do not get scammed. And let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Aquarius. Now, I am using the Psychic Tarot deck as well as the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to both of these decks in the description below. I also ask that you consider hitting the like button. It really does help with the growth of my channel, but more importantly, it ensures that people who may need to see these messages have an opportunity to see these messages. All right, let me make sure we're all set up and in view here. This is about good enough to me. I'm going to put this right here. And we'll also take 3 Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. All right. Aquarius. So what an interesting reading. What an interesting, first 5 cards here to start off the base of the pyramid. If you've never watched my videos before, we always go up the pyramid here and clarify these first 5 cards and get more in depth with the reading. But, you know, the majority of the cards here are major arcana. And, you know, for you, some of you are moving. There's been a major situation here in the past that has happened for you. I actually don't think it's negative. I think it was more about, I think it was enlightening. And sometimes, you know, enlightenment is something that potentially shocks us or potentially kind of opens the door for us. Sometimes we need to have the door opened for us so that we can then take the step through to a new place, a new dimension, a new idea, a new place in our life, right? And I feel like recently the door has been opened for you. There is something interesting here coming in the future as well. We'll talk about this more as we go along. But in your overall situation, you have the 3 of Cups. So the 3 of Cups, or the Rejoice and Celebration card, is about good times with others, good energy, the cups flowing, the water flowing. This can refer to your social circle, the company that you keep, the energy that you keep. It can refer to your friend group, your family. It just can generally involve others here. In a negative way, it can say that there's a third-party situation here in a love reading. Now, I'm actually not going to take that off the table. It could mean that there's been I never love reading about negative situations, but as you know, whatever comes in, comes in. For some of you, there could have been an understanding that somebody was not being honest with you in your relationship. Again, I need to be very clear that this has already happened. And this, for some of you, this could have been the feeling of enlightenment that you had, where you're like, whoa, I didn't realize that this person was like this, or I didn't realize I was, you know, letting somebody dim my light in that way. And this certainly could be the case for some Aquarian people here. Now, this could also be something different for you as well. This could be you kind of coming out of the shadow and enjoying yourself a little bit here as well. I would say that there's more hope in this reading than despair. So let me just be very clear about that. But in the past, you have the shadow, the moon, and the temperance card. So that's shadow and patience. Shadow patience. Isn't that interesting? So the moon card here is about potentially something or someone that is not as they appear. Okay? You can see that this person is kind of looking into the depths of the universe. They're looking into the depths of themselves. They're looking at their shadow. But you could also be looking at somebody else's shadow. And particularly here, if you are in a relationship, you could have found out in the past year that somebody was maybe involved with another person. I don't think that everybody's dealing with that, but I do feel like maybe some of you have here in the past. I need to be very clear about that. But what could also be going on here, and this may be more relevant for others, is that there's generally a need for patience, not just because you have this temperance card, which, by the way, this could be a Sagittarius person, this could be a Pisces person, could be any water sign. I'm getting Pisces, Cancer, but could be Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer, anything like that here, but don't get hung up on the signs. But not only does the Temperance card ask for patience and harmony in your life, but the Shadow card, the Moon card, is a temporary situation. Okay, and it is sort of weathering an emotional storm. It is something that kind of comes and goes. And it does ask you, the Moon card, that is, ask you to be careful that you are not getting yourself involved in an emotionally charged situation. Be careful of emotional outbursts here. Now, this has already happened, but some of you here have had to display some type of patience in your life. By the way, the Temperance card is a card of angels. And so some of you here have, even if you don't believe in angels, some of you have protection from your spirit team and your spirit guides. And I feel like you should know that you're being guided here at this time, as you deal with a potentially challenging situation. In the future, you have the Star and the Three of Swords. So hope, which is the Star, and the heartache and loss, which is the Three of Swords. Okay, so the reason that I'm getting this third-party situation is you have the classic combination of that, which is Three of Cups, Three of Swords. Okay, that's a classic third-party situation combination, especially if you have something like the Seven of Swords, but also because you have deception energy here in the past. It's possible. Okay, now, some of you here are going to not hesitate to end that relationship if you found that out, that they were involved with another person. You will not hesitate to do what you need to do there. And that could certainly be coming in the future. But the thing is, the Star is one of my 2 or 3 favorite cards to find in a tarot reading. The Star is about healing. It is about hope. It is about optimism for the future. The Star also brings a wish into your life, and it can also bring about synchronicities. You do have major energies of healing with the Star and the Temperance card. Both come after what are considered to be challenging cards. The Temperance card comes after the Death card. The Star comes after the Tower card. So do you see the theme that's sort of mounting here, right? Some of you have had a challenging situation that you are now receiving healing from in big ways. Again, this could involve another person. Even if it's not a relationship, this could involve a friend that was just not being honest, or a family member, or whatever it is. This could be involving another person. Let's go ahead and get some more details on that. So you have the sacral chakra. You have the Solitude card, which is the Hermit. You have the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Cups. So, definitely some energies here around, sexual healing. There's definitely energy here around sexual healing, because you have this sacral chakra that is your sort of sexual energy. Sacral chakra is right below the belly button, and this is in part where you derive self-worth. It is in part... it is your sexual energy, but it's also your creative energy in life. Sacral chakras it's very good to do like yoga for the first 3 chakras, but particularly the sacral chakra number 2 and the solar plexus chakra number 3. Solar plexus and sacral are both similar in, they have some similar characteristics in that they talk about self-worth in some ways, and insecurities or securities as well here. And so there is something around that in the past with the sacral chakra shadow and patience energy, okay? I feel like this solitude energy here, the Hermit, some of you maybe are recognizing that you don't always have to, how do I say this? Like, sometimes it's okay to put yourself in solitude, okay? This person's sort of sitting, they're meditating, but they're really learning. As you can see the book in their hands, they're really learning something, and it could mean that you're learning something about yourself, okay? And I feel like for some of you here, sometimes you may be coming to the understanding that you don't always have to be in a group situation, and you don't always have to be in a relationship. And particularly if you've been in a relationship that has just not been healthy, that has not been fulfilling. Some of you here are kind of coming to that understanding. You have these double 5s in the future. 555 represents change in one's life. And you do have 14, which 1 plus 4 is 5. So you do have this 5-5 energy coming in a way. And so there's definitely change coming in here. You know, it's interesting, the material and financial changes, financial and material changes, 5 of Pentacles, that's about potentially mindset, but it can be about poverty mindset, but it can also be around your self-worth. It can be around you feeling less than. And I think some of you have been in a relationship where maybe you've felt less than. And I think that this is about to change. Or I think some of you are looking to heal through that, especially because emotional loss, the 5 of Cups, is with it. I'm getting heavy energy here around 2, 3, 4. The sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, and the heart chakra. These are the chakras. These are the energy centers that you may want to spend some time on. Take a look at those 3 chakras. Take a look at researching those for yourself here after this video, if this is resonating with you. And, you know, there's a whole bunch of resources out there that you can look at. Like, there are free YouTube videos that you can listen to on all of these. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's see what we have here. So you have distant horizons, toil and labor, and great fortune. So you actually have really, really, really good Kipper cards here. The distant horizon says that there's good times ahead. It may take some time, 3 months or more, especially if you're just starting. But I always like to say, like, don't get hung up on timing, because, you know, timing in collective readings can be hard. But the author does suggest three or more months here with this distant horizons card. Toil and labor, you've been carrying a burden here. And, you know, that's a card of hard work, as you can see. But you also have this Great Fortune card. The Great Fortune card is literally the best card to find in the Kipper deck. It can bring good fortune, good situations, turnarounds, particularly in finance or material situations. It is interesting because this is obviously, if you're still with me here, this has felt like pretty much a love reading. But it is interesting that we are getting these energies around work, around good situations coming in. You know, what could have been happening for some of you is that you've had to deal with a challenging colleague. There may have just been a work situation that was just not as it appeared as well. Let's get some more details here. So you have the waiting game, which is the 2 of Wands. You have the 3 of Pentacles. Wow. And you have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so I said wow because we have 3 threes, right? So we have 3, 3, 3, and then in some way we also have 5, 5, 5, as you have these double 5s plus the 14, which is a 5, reduced down to a 5. And 3s in the tarot, or just 3s in numerology, the number of 3 generally is about the collective energy. It's about groups. It's about other people. It's Trinity. It's involving others. So you have that heavily here. Okay, and so for some of you, if you're still with me here, you know, it won't be about your relationship here. For some of you, it will be about your relationship, as you see the 3 of Cups at the base of the pyramid. But for some of you, it will be about your work colleagues. It'll be the people that you interact with. If your relationship's going great, then for you, I feel like this is going to be more about some understanding, some enlightenment that you found out about a colleague, maybe somebody that you put your trust in, something like that, as you have this 3 of Pentacles, because the 3 of Pentacles can refer to your colleagues. And now that's actually a very good card, but remember, we have to take all of this into context here. And it's almost like there is this sort of understanding about another person or about a group of people. But, you know, you also have this 2 of Wands waiting game with distant horizons. You know, that may, like I said, this may take some time to heal through, to work past, but you are working past it because you have this positive movement forward. Obviously, this really nice imagery here of these folks sailing away, this person sailing away from the past here. And the 8 of Pentacles is about a talent in tarot. This is a little bit different of an imagery, but the 8 of Pentacles says you have an extreme talent towards something that will always keep you well provided for. But it is always positive development. It is also positive developments and positive movement forward in the workplace as well. And so it's like, yeah, you're dealing with this change, but you're also, as you have this wish energy here with the Star and the 8 of Pentacles, things moving forward. Let's see what else we have here. So you have Stand Your Ground, 7 of Wands. And you have the Truth card, which is the Judgment card. So 7 of Wands and Judgment, Stand Your Ground and Truth. What is the truth of the situation? it's okay. I feel like saying that it's okay for you to call out what you know to be true, right? Like, and stay strong in what you know to be true for you here. The judgment card asks you to put all the facts on the table. It's more of a logical energy. It asks you to put all the facts on the table and sort of look at them in an honest way. And you have to, it's not just looking at the facts, but it's like looking at yourself as well. It's looking at your mirror and saying, like, are there things that I know that I'm doing that are not working, that are not just, that I need to let go of? And I also think that you're doing this with other people. I think other people are heavily involved as well, where it's like, do I know that I shouldn't be spending so much time with this person because they make me feel like XYZ or whatever? I think some of you here are understanding that and standing your ground on that situation. At the top of the pyramid, you have deception and envy, Seven of Swords. So you do have my classic, you have confirmation after confirmation here of a third-party situation with the Three of Swords, Three of Cups, and Moon, you being isolated, and now this Seven of Swords, which can be backstabbing, lying, cheating, stealing, as well as this change coming in. So it is like, this is something that you are potentially working past. Okay, again, I'm not forecasting this. You've already found this out, or you've already found this out. And this could, for some of you, be around colleagues, and this could be, for some of you, be around relationships, but definitely working through the deception and energy here. And then you have this Five of Swords, conflict and defeat. Could be a painful realization that you've come to in the past here, but again, sometimes you have to fall to rise. And I feel like that's kind of what this reading is about, because there is absolutely 100% hope on the horizon here. With the hope, positive movement forward, great fortune, and distant horizons. There are good things coming for you, Aquarius. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I'll see you in the next reading.